Serial dilution, literally what that is, you have a stock solution. So you have in here a original bacterial concentration. So this is really concentrated. And what you're going to do is take a small amount of that bacteria and then you're going to add lots of water. So in other words, you are diluting it. Now, it's not bacteria always. It could be anything, literally. So let's say you get a squash, and from that squash juice, you get a small amount, and you put a lot of water inside that. So that is dilution. So what is serial dilution? So let's start off here again. So you can see here, this is our culture, bacterial culture. It's our stock solution. So it's heavily concentrated with bacteria. I want to make a dilution, a serial dilution. So what I will do is I will get one part of this, a small, only one part. So let's say 1 ml of this bacterial solution culture, and then I will have 9 ml of just water. So I have 1 ml of bacteria, 9 ml of water, and I would mix them together. Now the bacteria here in this test tube is very less. In other words, I have diluted it. We call this 1 in 10. So 1 in 10, so 1 ml and 9 ml. It's not always you have to have 1 ml and 9 ml. It's more about the ratio of how much you are taking out and how much water you have. That ratio should be 1 to 10. Then you want to further dilute. So what I would do is I would get a second test tube. Now this test tube is just filled with water. Again, 9 ml of water. And from my 1 in 10, I'm going to mix it very well and take a small amount, 1 part, 1 ml, and then mix it here. Now my bacteria in the second test tube is even more less. It's even more dilute. The dilution here is 1 in 100. And then I can continue this step, as you can see, in a series until you get a lot more dilution. So this is a question. Describe how you would make 1 in 10 dilution and then use this to make 1 in 1000 and so on. So you can have a look at my answer, okay, and remember at each step you want to mix well. Alright, let's go to the equation and formula sheet. So C1 times V1 equals C2 times V2. You have to learn this formula. I want to explain what they mean using this example. Over here I have my stock solution. The concentration is mole dm minus cube. 10 is the concentration. You need to memorize that the units for concentration is mole slash dm minus cube. Whenever you see this unit, it always means concentration. And the volume of all of my stock solution is 10 centimeter cube. Centimeter cube is the volume, and you also need to memorize that. This is my diluted solution. The concentration here is much less. It's diluted. It's 2.5. How do I know? It says mole slash dm minus cube. What's the volume of all of this new solution? 10 centimeter cube. How do I know? Cm cube. Alright, so let's find out. So C1 is the concentration of my stock solution. So this is my stock solution, 10. V1 is the volume of solution from the stock that I am going to take out to make the new concentration. So how much volume, how much Cm cube am I taking out? I don't know that. So I have to find V1. Always in the exam, they will give you 3 of them, and you have to find the 4th one. C2 is the concentration of the solution that you are making, the diluted solution. What's the answer? 2.5. How do I know? It's mole slash dm minus cube. So that's the concentration, is 2.5. V2, volume of the new solution that you are making, 10 centimeter cube. How do I know? Cm cube. Okay, so then I just basically put them into my equation. So I put the into equation 2.5 times 10 divided by 10. My V1 is 2.5. So 2.5 is the amount that I'm taking out from my stock solution. Okay. We've done that. Next question would be, how much water will I need to add? So in here, how much centimeter cube of water will I need to add to make sure that the total V2, total volume of the diluted solution is 10? So I know already, from here I'm adding 2.5. How much water do I need to add to make a total volume of 10? So the answer is pretty simple, right? So 10 minus 2.5, so 7.5 cm cube. Right, let's have a go at this question. Have a read and then pause the video and see if you can do it. So the first thing that I would do is I want to get my formula out. Okay, I want to say what is what. So I have C1, V1, C2, V2. I want to always start off with concentration. So there's two concentrations, C1, C2. C1 is stock, V2 is the new solution that you are making. So I have mole dm minus cube. That's concentration. I have 0.5 of something, concentration, and I have another concentration, 0.1 mole dm minus cube. So I have found my two concentration. I now need to say which one is C1 and which one is C2. Logically thinking, guys, the stock is going to have higher concentration. So the bigger number is 0.5. So 0.5 is going to be my my stock, okay, and 0.1 is going to be my C2, okay, and then I have V1, V2 left, and they have given me one volume, 50 centimeter cube. And then I read the whole thing. The 50 centimeter cube of 0.1. 0.1 was the diluted one, correct? So that means this 50 is V2, volume of the diluted solution. So I put them all in my formula and then I rearrange it and I can find V1. V1 is 10 centimeter cube. How much water added to make 50 centimeter cube? Just take away 50 minus 10, which will give you 40 centimeter cube. Let's try once more. Another one. Pause the video and have a go. Right. So same thing. Okay. First of all, I start with C1, C2. I find the two concentration. 0.25 mole dm cube, found one, and I found the other one here. Okay, which one is bigger? 2 is bigger, so C1 has to be 2, and 0.25 it has to be C2 because smaller number. And then I have V1, V2. Which one have they given me? Let's see. They have given me volume here, 100 centimeter cube, 0.25. That's the smaller number, so that means they have given me V2. So they are asking me to find V1. I rearrange, put everything in there, 12.5. How much water? Total V2 was 100. Okay, so therefore I have to add 87.5 water to make the volume of 100 centimeter cube. Alright, have a go at this question. Okay, exactly same thing. After that we'll do a proper exam question. Okay, so therefore we have C1, C2, V1, V2, C, and so on. I'm getting confused. Anyway, so C1, so I have my volume here 0.5. Sorry, I have my concentration here 0.5. I have another concentration here 2. Which one is bigger? 2 is bigger, so it has to be C1. 0.5 is smaller, C2. Then I have V1, V2. What have they given me? 250 cm cube of 0.5. That was for the C2, so it has to be V2. So V2, put into formula, rearrange, and then calculate. 62.5 cm cube is the amount that I'm taking out. It's my V1 from my stock. How much water needs to be added? My total volume of V2 was 250. I take away, and that gives me 187.5. Right, let's move to exam question. So have a look at this question, pause the video. Now remember, try to use a formula, put C1 with V1 and so on. So this is how I would do it. Okay, so I would be, first of all, get my C1, V1, C2, V2. What's my C1 and what's my C2? I would do 1 and 3 first. C1. let's see, I have 0.2 concentration here, mole DM3. I have 1 here, concentration. Which one is bigger? 1 is bigger. So C1 has to be 1, and then this is smaller, this is C2. Done. Half of it done. Okay, V1, V2. Which one have they given me? 20 cm cube. That's a volume of what? 0.2. Smaller number. So they have given me V2. So they're asking me to find V1. So what I do, I just basically put it into my formula. Rearrange the formula. 4 centimeter cube is the amount that I'm taking out from my stock solution. So volume of stock solution coming out is going to be 4 here. How much water am I adding to make it 20? Very simple. 20 take away 4, 16 cm cube. Right, let's do another question. Pause the video and have a go. So in here, they're asking me to fill in the heading and the subheadings in here as well. So volume of 1 mole dm cube of chloride solution. So volume is always going to be in centimeter cube. So this is my unit, centimeter cube. And this one here, they're asking me to find something. And if you were to think about it, it's going to be how much distilled water is being added, cm cube. So anyway, you can do that afterwards as long as you do the formula first, okay? See what they are trying to ask us to do. So I find my C1, C2, let's see, let's start looking for these numbers. Okay, I have 0 concentration of mole dm minus, I have 0.04 as 1 concentration. Over there here, 1 mole dm cube. I have two concentration, I'm done. So 1 is bigger than 0.04, so 1 has to be my C1, and then 0.04 is my C2. Done. Okay, I have to find V1 or V2. What have they given me? They have given me 20 centimeter cube of something. So let's read the question properly. If you read the question properly, they have given you 20 centimeter cube of V2. So if you read it properly, read the story, okay, it'll make sense that this 20 volume is for V2. So in other words, they're asking me to find V1. Okay, so I just rearrange the formula. I find V1. So V1 is 0.8 centimeter cube. Now, how much, this column here is a volume of water. How much water was added? What's my total volume? It was 20. So I do 20 minus 0.8 is 19.2.